I think King County has a long history of innovation, generally speaking, but certainly around areas of juvenile justice reform. We were early adopters of JDAI, and it really, I think, has provided us kind of a framework to help implement our vision around how you drive reform around juvenile justice.
King County has become known for this movement to get to zero youth detention. I must say that we wouldn't even be having this conversation if it weren't for the folks that led the No New Youth Jail movement.
Community members thought it was misleading that we're actually building a new jail and not a children and family justice center. And so the context behind that, I think, is really important to understand. Over time, we've gotten our population down to about 40. And so folks were concerned that if you build it, you will fill it. That caused some tense conversations with community. There was some truth in what they were saying.
There's a ton of folks who rallied together in this No New Youth Jail movement that really need to be credited with pushing the King County exec to create a new narrative about getting to zero.
That caused us to say, hey, let's take a look at some of this. What are some things that we can do in this space that will help address not only our needs in the justice system, but also our needs that our communities are facing?
Because it's planting the seed for us to start thinking differently and outside the box of what punishment and punitive systems do compared to what community can do and the work that systems and community working together can do.
That there's been a lot of work that has been put in place to kind of build the foundation for the zero youth detention. And granted, it's a very ambitious goal, but I think it's one that community and the different systems have come together and said this is worth trying to strive for. So I think we can't do this if we don't bring community to the table.
It's thinking more about public health approaches and how you can be bringing kind of that lens to, working with young people.
Let's look at what are the other factors, and then how do we position the community and also the court around those other factors to support that young person to become whole again.
So if we, number one, don't begin with looking at the crime, but looking at the behavior, and two, don't begin with looking at a young person as a problem, but a possibility, all of a sudden opens up the door for so many different resolutions that really equate to how do we build up a person to live into their best self instead of how do we tear them down because of one choice that they made in a really insecure moment of adolescence. And so as we ascribe to a public health lens and we look at behavior and disease, and this is an effort to treat that behavior and disease, we're looking at a comprehensive approach to not just resolve what's going on in the life of the young person or the young adult, but what's going on in the community around them. How do we transform the system, the community, and the lives so that way we can have a comprehensive impact that resolves more than just this moment, but gets to evolve to a transformative way of being moving forward.
The little guidance, little help, support from, from these places, it's like, okay, now I'm seeing something I've never seen before, getting these opportunities that I've never, thought that I'd ever have in my life. And, my future is different. You feel me? Like my thought of the future is different.
The people that I'm around encourage me in different ways than I was encouraged when I was in the streets.
And not have nobody sit there, you feel me, and judge me about what I've been through or how I think.
And even in my times, I've had my slips and my falls, and Dominique has always been right there. Working with him has definitely changed my life.
There's no way we could do what we do without having relationships with the systems and the organizations that we have relationships with. Because we have to understand how much genius and brilliance we're actually incarcerating, and how many people just need an opportunity and a chance to do something new and different that they had no idea was out there for them.
It's a long journey to get to where it is we want to be, but we know that it bends towards the right place.
The answers to our problems are in our community. And as long as we start thinking about it differently now, and then the fact that we're taking it into a public health lens instead of a legal, punitive punishment lens, right now we're doing something new and different and unique.